Stephen Curry is the best point guard of all time, and I'm here to prove it. Now, despite who you think is the best of all time between him and Magic Johnson, the truth is Stephen Curry's legacy has surpassed so many of the greats, especially after winning a championship without KD. Now, if you ask me, a two-time unanimous MVP, a four-time NBA champion, a one-time NBA champion after KD has left, which proved everybody wrong, and that's not to mention how he revolutionized the game with his three-point shooting, the greatest of all time, and nobody comes even close. Now, in order to prove that right, I put Curry in the Magic v Bird era on NBA 2K25 to see how he does. This is the primetime era for Magic Johnson, and this is the perfect time to have the both compete against each other and see who comes out on top. Now, my name is Hamza Hoops, and let's get this video rolling. Now, to kick things off, the 1984 season favored Magic Johnson as he wins the MVP, averaging almost 19 points, 9 rebounds, and 13 assists. So Magic Johnson heard me and took it very personally. He started the video really hot, as he dominated the West with his Laker team, finishing the season extremely strong with a record of 67-15, by far the best team in the league, whereas Curry was only the 7th seed with a below 50 record, winning only 38 games and losing 44. Now, to keep this video very authentic and non-biased, we have to take into account that Lakers team and who's playing with Magic Johnson. Yes, it may be that Magic Johnson is having a primetime season, but he also has on his team several Hall of Famers, including Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, who's a 96 overall, James Worthy, who's an up-and-coming superstar, Michael Cooper, and the list goes on. This team is stacked, and no wonder they were the first seed. Whereas if we compare that team to this Warriors team, as you guys can see, it's not a lot of competition. By far the worst team. Curry has Purvis Short and Joe Barry Carroll on his team as his second and third option, compared to Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and James Worthy. You guys let me know who's the better team in here. But despite all of that, Stephen Curry in his first season in the 80s had a phenomenal, fantastic, dominant season. He averaged 31 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5 assists on the shooting splits you would expect Curry to average. But playoff time has arrived, and as expected, the Warriors did not make any noise, falling down in 5 to a very dominant Utah Jazz team as the second seed actually. Whereas on the other hand, the Lakers' playoff success was foreshadowed in their regular season record as they go on a very dominant run in the playoffs, sweeping both the Kings and the Suns in the first and second round, and also gentlemen sweeping the Jazz, who actually dominated the Warriors, and they beat them in 5 to make it into the finals, in which they faced the very much dominant Celtics. But despite this very historic run by the Lakers in order to make it into the finals, they fall down short to the Celtics in 5 games, and Larry Bird is your finals MVP. So Magic Johnson, despite winning the MVP and having a phenomenal regular season record, he fell down short in the finals and couldn't reach the ultimate goal in his first season of this video, of course. Now, moving on to the second season, the 1985 season, and this season we see Stephen Curry go ballistic, winning the MVP by far and averaging 38.6 points, 4.5 rebounds, and 5 assists on phenomenal shooting splits. This guy took over the whole league, averaged damn near 40 points, and let's be honest, he put Magic Johnson in his left pocket. And the reason I say that is because due to the addition of Michael Jordan and other players into the league, we find that Magic Johnson could not make the All-NBA first team, as it featured Stephen Curry, Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, Larry Bird, and Moses Malone. Magic Johnson found himself in the All-NBA second team behind those 5 players. But it is not to say that he didn't have a good season himself. He had a phenomenal season, averaging 19 points, 8 rebounds, and 12 assists, which is what Magic Johnson does. And this was further implied in a regular season record, as again they dominate the West, going 60-22, by far once again the best team in the league. Furthermore, we find Curry once again finding himself at the 7th seed spot, 41-41. Not a great regular season for the Warriors, whereas the Lakers could not have related at all. And in this season's playoffs, the story seems to have repeated itself as the Warriors fall short once again to the same team they lost to last season in the same amount of games, which is the Utah Jazz. And similarly, the Lakers do exactly what they did last season, finishing the first and the second round without losing a single game. But in this year's conference finals, the Jazz almost had the Lakers, taking them to 7 games, but they fell short, and the Lakers once again advanced to the NBA Finals. This time around taking on the Philadelphia 76ers with Julius Erving and Moses Malone. And I think what we all expected happened. The Lakers come out on top in 5 games. This was no competition. I don't know who I was trying to fool. Magic Johnson is your Finals MVP, and for the first time in today's video, he gets himself a ring and a championship trophy as well as a Finals MVP trophy to accompany his MVP that he won at the start of the video. Now, so far in the video, although you may think Magic Johnson is taking this, it has to be said that Stephen Curry is at a complete disadvantage when it comes to team superpowers, because Magic Johnson has a complete super team compared to Stephen Curry. But that has completely come to an end, as in this year's free agency, the Warriors pull a blockbuster trade ahead of the draft, acquiring Moses Malone, a future Hall of Famer from the Philadelphia 76ers who fell short to the Lakers in the finals. Moses Malone thought he wanted out and wanted to compete, and what other place it is than the Golden State Warriors with Stephen Curry. This pair is going to go ballistic. Just like the Lakers with 2 Hall of Famers in Magic Johnson and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, the Warriors find themselves having 2 future Hall of Famers as well in prime Stephen Curry and prime Moses Malone. How can this pair fare up against the Lakers, and can they overtake them in the regular season? Can one of them win the MVP, and can they finally get over the hump and compete for the NBA championship? Let's find out. And this move by Moses Malone turned out to be one heck of a move and a success, as in his first season with the Golden State Warriors, this guy wins the MVP with a dominant fashion: 33 points, 14 rebounds, and 2.3 blocks. Now, how do you prove you're the best player in the league in your first season on a new team? You do what Moses Malone does. You go out and average 33 points and 14 rebounds. You can even see Steph Curry's influence on Moses Malone. The guy was shooting threes. And once again, in order not to be biased in this video, Magic Johnson still had a great season of his own, probably his best season by far this video. He averaged 20 points, 7.7 rebounds, and 12 assists. What a great season by Magic Johnson. But despite Moses Malone winning the MVP, in my opinion, the actual MVP should have been Stephen Curry himself. This guy put up 35 points, 4.5 rebounds and 6 assists on ridiculous shooting splits, whilst having another 30-point scorer on his team. But the only difference is that he's 6'3", and this era is heavily dominated by big men. So who do you think should have won the MVP, Moses Malone or Stephen Curry? However, for the 3rd straight time in today's video, the Lakers once again dominate the West with a record of 68-13. For some odd reason, 2K has the Jazz as the 2nd seed, but the truth is the actual 2nd seed is your Golden State Warriors. Only 5 games behind the Lakers at 63-19. They had a dominant season of their own, just not as close as the Lakers, but regardless, what the regular season record tells us is absolutely nothing. The playoffs is what matters. This only implies that both teams were dominant. The Warriors this season completely turned the tables around, this time facing the Clippers in the 1st round, in which they sweep, and then facing Denver in the 2nd round, in which they also sweep. The Lakers on another dominant run of their own, only losing 1 game throughout both series. And now we get to the moment we've been all waiting for. The Western Conference Finals, consisting of the Lakers versus the Warriors. Now, before I carry on with the video, guys, please, it's getting very intense. So how about you pause your video for a second, drop a like and subscribe to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and drop a follow to the page if you're seeing this on TikTok. Now, my bad, I paused the video, let's keep going. Now, the absolute truth is this whole video was made for the sole purpose of proving which point guard is the greatest of all time. Not the greatest of one generation, the greatest of all time. Is it Magic Johnson? Or is it Stephen Curry? The old gen versus the new gen. Who is gonna come out on top? Enough of all that intense stuff. As you guys can see, I'm not the greatest at it. Let's get straight to business. In Game 1 of the Western Conference Finals, the Golden State Warriors managed to take Game 1 thanks to Moses Malone's 38 points and Stephen Curry's 30 points. However, Game 2 was a completely different story. The Lakers come down and dominate the Golden State Warriors, winning the game by almost 30 points. Despite Magic Johnson's poor shooting night, he still managed to drop 19 points, 7 rebounds, and 15 assists. Game 3 was the exact same story, but not for the same team. The Golden State Warriors come down and dominate the Lakers in Game 3, taking the game by 20 points, and thanks to Curry's 44 points. What a dominant night for Stephen Curry. Moses Malone still managed to drop 37 and 15 despite Curry taking over. Now the Lakers come back and tie the series up at 2-2, making it a very competitive series, but unfortunately the Warriors had other plans, taking away game 3 by a big margin. A margin so big they almost made history, 124-86 points. They won the game by damn near 40 points. Magic Johnson continues to struggle shooting wise, still managed to drop a double-double with assists, but it's not looking great for the Lakers. And as I mentioned before, it was never going to be looking great for the Lakers, as the Warriors managed to finish the series in 6 games, winning by completely dominant fashion. Moses Malone, 46 points and 15 rebounds. And to go alongside of that, Stephen Curry, 34 points and 10 assists. This duo is the duo we never knew we needed. And for the sake of this video, we have been seeing different matchups in the finals every single year of the video, and this year is no different. The Golden State Warriors are going to be taking on the bad boy Pistons for the first time in today's video. However, this wasn't even close to being a competition for the Golden State Warriors. They sweep their way in the finals, absolutely decimating the Pistons. Moses Malone is your finals MVP. He averaged 33 points, 15 rebounds, and 2.5 blocks throughout the NBA Finals. Now, to the naked eye, those are some stats. But what did Curry do? What did Curry average? Was there some biasness in giving the Finals MVP trophy? Let's have a look. It was so extremely tight between the two. The gap was extremely small, both of them averaging 36 plus points. Now, those stats are throughout the playoffs completely. The reason I mention that is because in the first round of the playoffs, Stephen Curry damn near averaged 50 points. He also averaged 36 points and 7 assists in the conference semifinals, or the second round as we all call it. And then he still averaged 32 points in the conference finals. And in the finals, the dude still averaged 34 points and damn near 7 assists. Now be honest, who do you think should have won that finals MVP? Moses Malone or Stephen Curry? Let me know down below in the comments. Simple. And unfortunately for Magic Johnson, the reign has come to an end. It is an end of an era for the Lakers. Kareem Abdul-Jabbar has officially announced his retirement at 39 years of age. Now Magic Johnson finds himself without his dominant Hall of Fame center and only James Worthy. Can he keep up with Stephen Curry, or is this the end of the start? Or is this the start of an end for Magic Johnson? And what I said earlier is not even close to being the truth, because straight after Kareem departed from the team and retired, Magic Johnson had one of his best seasons by far, winning the 1987 MVP, and those are insane numbers. And how many times do I have to repeat this sentence? The Lakers completely dominate the West once again. It really is true that they were dominating most of the eras, man. 63-19 on the season. Right behind them is the Warriors. Once again, it's glitched, but the Warriors still play second, right behind them at 62 wins and 20 losses. So if you ask me, pretty much the same records. But I guess the addition of Clark Kellogg that I didn't mention yet, but the Warriors are making moves in free agency, and this team is really doing Curry some justice with rebuilding around him, just like they did in the new era. They really are doing it in the old era as well, building a phenomenal team. Clark Kellogg averaged 20 points, so I guess that must have affected Curry's impact a little bit. And this year's playoffs pretty much summed up how dominant this Warriors team is. Although Magic Johnson won the MVP and the Lakers were the best team in the regular season, again, the same story repeats, where the Warriors absolutely dominate the playoffs. They go on a perfect playoff run, sweeping in the first round, sweeping in the second round, and once again facing the rivals of this video, facing the team that they must be in order to win and advance to the finals. And that team is none other than the Lakers, who also had a pretty good run in the playoffs so far, only losing 3 games. But this conference finals was a completely different story. Although the Lakers have the MVP on their team, they have the best record in the league, they couldn't stand a chance. The Warriors absolutely obliterated them in 4 games. And to be honest, it was pretty much an embarrassment. They advanced to the finals to play on the Boston Celtics. But this NBA Finals had me at the edge of my seat after being up 3-0, and the Warriors looking straight at that championship trophy, or you want to say the Larry O'Brien trophy. They were literally right there, determined to hold it in Game 4, and the Boston Celtics pull an historic comeback after being down 3-0 to tie the series and force a Game 7. And at that point, I was just thinking, is this going to be the very first 3-0 lead to be choked? Are we witnessing the very first 3-0 comeback against Steph Curry right now? come on, that can never happen. And that's exactly what happened. The Warriors managed to come out on top in Game 7 after showing me glimpses of them letting it all go like that, but they end up winning the series in 7 games, and Stephen Curry adds another championship trophy to his collection. Although the finals MVP was Moses Malone, Steph Curry once again outscored him in every single series of the playoffs, pretty much dominating the whole playoff run. But I guess that old era does not value Stephen Curry as much as we do. But sometimes it's not their choice to value a player. A player can demand his own value. He can demand his own respect. He can demand his own legacy. He can create his own legacy. And the reason I say that is because Steph Curry is your most valuable player of the 1988 season, displaying absolute dominance, 33 points, 4 rebounds, and 6 assists on elite shooting splits. What you would expect from Curry is what you're getting right now. A 50-90 club across the whole season, whilst receiving the most valuable player award. That's another level of eliteness. Holy glaze. And throughout this whole video, I did not go a season where I disrespected Magic Johnson, because the guy is the definition of consistency. Another season where he displays a 2010 season, almost a triple-double. The guy is an absolute beast, a 2010 machine. He can never give you any less than that, which is crazy. However, this season was a bit of an anomaly for the Lakers and Magic Johnson. For the first time in today's video, we find them sitting pretty low in the West at 54 and 28, right there at the 5th seed, and the Warriors this time, I don't want to say pretty comfortably because it was very competitive, but 62 and 20, number 1 seed in the West. Good season for them. And I keep forgetting to mention, but Steph Curry gets another scoring title. By far the best scorer in the league. Now, typically in the playoffs, because one team is the 1st seed, the other team is the 2nd seed, we find that the Lakers and the Warriors always meet in the conference finals. However, because the Lakers this year did not perform so well with their regular season record, we find that the Warriors and the Lakers are able to meet in the 2nd round of the playoffs. This is obviously after both teams swept their opponents in round 1, but now in the 2nd round of the playoffs, they have to meet. And who's going to advance? And if you did guess or doubt that Stephen Curry wouldn't advance, then you should probably click off this video and go to sleep, because Steph Curry advances to the conference finals and the Warriors beat the Lakers in 5. However, the truth has to be said, Magic Johnson went on an absolute carry job. Multiple games where he played extremely well. The truth is that Lakers team is just not as good as this Warriors team. It's been built so well around Steph Curry. I'm so surprised. By the way, guys, I'm not controlling the Warriors. I only control them in the playoffs just so I can advance. However, throughout the regular season, throughout the offseason, I let them do their own signings. I let them do their own trades. So it's taking me by surprise with all these moves they're making around Steph Curry. Therefore, after beating the Lakers once again, the Warriors advance to the conference finals, where this time they take on the Sacramento Kings, who's not even a matchup. I don't know how they made it to the conference finals, but the Warriors basically skate through and make it to the finals. And for the first time in today's video, we witness the rise of Michael Jordan making his first NBA finals. It's still a fairly young Chicago Bulls team with a young Scottie Pippen and Michael Jordan. And let's just say Steph Curry had an absolute blast in this series. After the Warriors take the first 2 games, Steph Curry back-to-back 30+ points. We go into Game 3 where the Warriors absolutely decimate the Bulls thanks to a Moses Malone masterclass with 19 free throw attempts. However, with Game 4 being the most competitive game of the series, going into overtime with a tie score of 98-98, with only 59 seconds left on the shot clock, a certain somebody has to put up a shot and make it. With Michael Jordan being on the bench due to foul trouble, Steph Curry sees that and walks himself up the court, slowly studying and looking at his defender, knowing what he's about to do in Game 7 of the NBA Finals, where this shot could possibly determine his legacy and cement his name with the all-time greats. He calls for a screen from his partner in crime, takes the screen to his left, gets a wide open signature fading 3-pointer. And let's just be honest, he knew that shot was going in before he even took it. 101 to 98 is the score with 51 seconds to go. He puts his team up by 3 points. And when we talk about displaying leadership, he does it on both ends. After splashing an absolutely menacing of a shot, he comes back on the other end, eats the screen, and gets an absolutely insane stop, forcing a turnaround 25-footer by a random who's not making that shot. He is not MJ. Moses Malone grabs the rebound, and the game is officially sealed. The Golden State Warriors add another Larry O'Brien trophy to their collection, and Steph Curry, after proving his worth, how clutch he is, how valuable he is for his team, both sides of the floor, and after having an absolutely dominant playoff run, averaging damn near 40 points, the guy gets his first Finals MVP of this video after Moses Malone won the first two, and now officially tying Magic Johnson with the number of Finals MVP trophies. When have you ever seen a player put these type of numbers, mind you, whilst shooting 50, 40, 90? Just saying. And now with age approaching for Magic Johnson, we all know he retired at the age of 31. We have 2 more seasons to go with this simulation. And for the second to last season, your 1989 most valuable player of the year goes to none other than Stephen Curry. Back-to-back MVP trophies, and this time averaging 40 points on the season. The dude is averaging 40 points across the whole season whilst maintaining the 50, 40, 90 club. Like, you gotta understand the levels it takes to become this great. And I know this is a game and I'm glazing, but come on guys. Do you not think Curry can do that in the 80s and 90s? Like, let's be real. He's doing absolutely that in the 80s and 90s. Absolutely doing that. And just a quick look at the standings again for this 1989 season. The Lakers are your 2nd seed, whilst the Warriors are the 4th seed. Once again, a very tight Western Conference. However, the Dallas Mavericks seem like they have the edge over everybody else. Only 3 games between the Warriors and the Lakers. And for the first time in today's video, the Lakers and the Warriors do not meet in the playoffs at any stage of the playoffs. After obviously the Warriors beat the Kings in the first round and then beat the Dallas Mavericks, who were the 1st seed, they got absolutely cooked by the Warriors in 4 games. We find that the Lakers also lost in the 2nd round of the playoffs to the Houston Rockets in 6 games, meaning the Warriors and the Lakers could have never met in the playoffs for the first time, which is a bit depressing. And after the Warriors sweep the Houston Rockets in the conference finals and advance to once again for the 2nd time in today's video meet the Boston Celtics in the NBA Finals. This time around, and unlike 2 seasons ago, the Boston Celtics were not able to put up a fight against the Golden State Warriors. And let's just say the Warriors, for the 50th time of this video, sweep their opponent and add another Larry O'Brien trophy to their collection. And not only did he achieve a back-to-back MVP season like he did in real life, he also achieved a back-to-back Finals MVP season. You have your back-to-back MVP, you have your back-to-back NBA champion, you have your back-to-back Finals MVP, you have your back-to-back scoring title, you have your back-to-back 35+ point season. I mean, what can you ask of this legend? Let me know, fam. What can you ask of him? And for the very final season of this simulation, we find that for the 2nd time, neither Curry or Magic Johnson win the MVP. First time around, it was Moses Malone. This time around, it is in fact Duncan Robinson, who had an amazing season. Now, of course, both point guards make the All-NBA first team. One of them averaged 37 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. And the other one averaged 26 points, 8 rebounds, and almost 10 assists at the age of 30. These guys are ridiculous, bro. Both of them are absolute legends. I actually wanted to keep this brief, but for the very final season, Magic Johnson and the Lakers go on an absolutely historic run, 73-9 record in the regular season. They did what the Warriors did in 2015-2016. Guys, this is ridiculous, man. However, on the other hand, the Warriors didn't really have a great regular season, to be exact. They were the 5th seed at 54-28, and when you look at the Lakers and their regular season record, the gap is insanely huge. And you just have to pray that the Warriors perform in the playoffs. And once again in the playoffs, last time it was actually flipped. The Warriors were the 1st seed, the Lakers were the 4th seed, and they met in the 2nd round of the playoffs. This time around it's the same case, but it is flipped. Both teams swept their opponents in the 1st round, and now it is the matchup we all want to see for the final time in this video. And although Magic Johnson drops 41 points, 7 rebounds, and 7 assists in Game 1 of the 2nd round versus the Warriors, they end up losing by 4 points in overtime, thanks to Steph Curry's 36, 9, and 11 first game. And sadly for Magic Johnson, the story repeated itself in game 2 after dropping 28-7-7. They fall short once again by 4 points to the Golden State Warriors, and after stealing game 3 by only 2 points, the Warriors find themselves up 3-0, and Curry looks at Magic Johnson and says, I have to go get me my final chip before the video ends. Curry obviously led the way with 28 points and 12 assists, but Magic Johnson, a complete disaster, a complete breakdown for the Lakers. And can they make a comeback? We're gonna have to find out, really. And here comes game 4. The Golden State Warriors are looking at it as their final game to advance into the conference finals, and the Lakers are holding on to their final hope of winning a game at a time. And in fact, they do win game 4 and hold on to that little hope they have. And as I mentioned earlier, the Lakers are taking a completely different approach to the Warriors in this series. They want to win a game at a time, and in fact, they are doing so. They take game 5 as well. Although Curry had 30 points, Magic Johnson and the Lakers could not hold down, and they take the game by 13 points and force a game 6. Every game is a must-win game for the Lakers, and oh my goodness, a complete breakdown for the Warriors. A reoccurring trend in this series is that nobody is actually showing up outside of Curry, and that person is none other than Moses Malone, who has been ghosting. The Golden State Warriors fall down short in game 6 by 2 points, and the Lakers pull the unthinkable, being down 3-0. Every game is an elimination game for them, and they managed to win a game at a time, following their plan and trusting their guts. And guys, now we have a game 7 in the second round between those two teams that are rivaling each other this whole video. The show must go on. And the important message of today's video is that what do we know about Curry in game 7s of any important series? We know that he's going to show up
and dominate whoever's in front of him.
56 points for Steph Curry, guys. 56 points in game 7 of the second round versus Magic Johnson, and they took the game by a big margin. It was never close, to be honest. 56-7-9, and that's not to say that Magic Johnson didn't play well himself. He had a very well-rounded game with 24 points, 6 rebounds, 11 assists on actually very, very good efficiency. And boy oh boy, after all this glazing and all this gassing up for the Warriors and Steph Curry, they get manhandled by the Houston Rockets in 4 games. The very first time we lose a series, let alone the very first time where we never win a game within a series. And for the sake of keeping it real, and guys, this is the Houston Rockets team, man. This team is ridiculous. Ron Harper, Chris Mullin, Hakeem Olajuwon, Ralph Sampson. This team truly might be better than us. The very first team where I went into the series thinking, oh boy, we could be in trouble. You get what I'm trying to say? And we were in trouble. We were indeed in trouble. And yes, just to prove a point, Steph Curry played out of his mind, still averaged 30 plus points. Moses Malone did in fact ghost us this season, and I'm not gonna lie, he is 35. He gave us a very good 5 to 6 years, so I can't really blame the guy, but he had to put up some sort of fight against Hakeem, no? And just for the record, for the people interested, the Houston Rockets end up defeating the Celtics in the NBA Finals to win their first NBA championship of this era, and Hakeem Olajuwon is your Finals MVP. So after a long battle, after a long video, after a long day of me editing and making this video for you guys, the video has officially come to an end. And to keep it real, this battle was fire from start to end. Both players showed up to play. Both players showed insane consistency. One being an elite scorer, and one being a very, very respectable scorer and an elite playmaker in Magic Johnson. As you guys can see, the man is basically a 2010 machine. Every single season of this simulation, basically, he dropped a 2010, let's be real. And he was the MVP twice in this video, as well as them winning a championship trophy in the 1984 season, which was the very first season of this simulation, where he was crowned the Finals MVP. And those are pretty much his trophies for the video, whereas the other 6'3" point guard that we added into this video to compete with him was your boy Stephen Curry, and this man did not slack for a single season. Every single season of this simulation except one where he averaged 30 plus points, 3 seasons where he averaged 37 plus points, 1 season where he damn near averaged 40 points. He was 0.1 points away from averaging 40 the whole season. And of course, that's not to mention that he was your most valuable player in the 1985 season, in the 1988 season, and in the 1989 season. 3-time most valuable player in this simulation, whereas Magic Johnson only once. as well as a full-time NBA champion, where twice he was the finals MVP. And I'm not gonna lie, you could make an argument that he should have been the finals MVP for all 4 times. Now, all jokes aside, I know this is a video game and it can't be true to a certain extent, but please guys, let me know down below your opinion and who you think places higher on the all-time list. Who is the greatest point guard of all time? Is it Steph Curry? Is it Magic Johnson? It's an ongoing debate that's really between the old generation and the new generation. I myself is on the Curry side. Now, I think he's a top 5 player of all time, let alone the best point guard of all time.
What do you mean by that?
I think you can make an argument he might be top 3 as well. I mean, that's a different video. But please do not click off this video before you let me know who is greater in your opinion. Guys, I hope you did enjoy this video. It did take me a long time to record, but it was a very, very fun experience. And I'm hoping that you guys enjoy this kind of content. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel to support your boy. We're almost at 1,000 subscribers. We're gonna reach it very soon. And if you want to be part of the fam, drop a sub to the channel right now and join the crew. That's all I've got for you guys today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.